Hello, my friends. Today we bring you Bryce Dallas Howard's filmography, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The Grinch, a grouchy creature, hates Christmas and schemes to steal it from the cheerful town of Whoville, but through the kindness of a young girl, Cindy Lou Who, his heart softens, and he learns the true meaning of the holiday. A Beautiful Mind. John Forbes Nash Jr. is recognized as a mathematical genius at the age of 21. Early on, he marries a beautiful woman, but soon begins to show signs of schizophrenia. After years of battling the illness, he eventually wins the Nobel Prize. Book of Love. Amidst a community of stuffy academics, a peculiar young man becomes entangled in a complex affair, disrupting the lives of a high school history teacher and his wife as he navigates the tensions between them. The Village. In a community surrounded by a forest feared for its dangerous creatures, a young man disobeys the elders and risks going to the nearest city in search of medicine for a sick resident, defying his community's fears. Manderlay. In 1933, Grace and her father find a farm in Alabama where the legacy of slavery persists. Determined to help, Grace seeks to change the situation and, with the aid of her father's colleagues and a lawyer, works to rebuild Mandalay. Lady in the Water. When Cleveland saves a young woman from a fairy tale, he falls in love with her and discovers that he and the others in the building are characters from the same story, needing to protect her from evil creatures. As You Like It. Duke Frederick threatens to kill his niece Rosalind upon discovering that she is in love with Orlando. She flees with her cousin Celia to the forest of Arden. There, disguised as men, the two attempt to gather information about Orlando. Spider-Man 3. Peter Parker and Mary Jane's relationship is going well, but problems arise when the black suit of Spider-Man takes control of Peter, amplifying his dark side. Meanwhile, the villains Venom and Sandman attempt to destroy the hero. Good Dick. A video store clerk becomes obsessed with a customer who frequently visits the adult film section. After failing to impress her, he uses the store's database to find her address and starts a campaign to win her attention. The Loss of a Teardrop Diamond. Romance, jealousy, and suspicion intertwine after a rebellious heiress loses an expensive earring at a party where she was accompanied by the man she hired to protect her. Tensions rise as hidden motives and secrets begin to unravel. Terminator Salvation. John Connor leads the resistance against Skynet. When Marcus Wright appears, with memories from death row, Connor must determine whether he comes from the future or the past, while Skynet plans a final attack to destroy humanity. The Twilight Saga, Eclipse. Bella faces danger with mysterious crimes in Seattle and a vampire seeking revenge. She must choose between her love for Edward and her friendship with Jacob, knowing that her decision could lead to a battle between vampires and werewolves. Hereafter. 3 individuals embark on a spiritual journey after death affects their lives. George, a laborer who communicates with the dead, Marie Lelay, a journalist with supernatural visions, and a London boy who loses someone dear to him. The Help. In the 1960s Mississippi, Skeeter, a young woman from high society, decides to become a writer and interviews black women who work for white families. The first to agree is Argylle, and together they face criticism and gain new supporters. 50-50. Upon receiving a discouraging cancer diagnosis, Adam Lerner decides to respond with optimism, despite the negative reactions from his mother and a friend. He begins treatment with a therapist, and the two eventually become romantically involved. Jurassic World. Jurassic Park is open to visitors, offering the public a chance to see a wide range of dinosaur species up close. However, one of these animals, the result of genetic experimentation, develops high intelligence and becomes a threat to everyone. Pete's Dragon. Little orphan Pete is found and taken in by the dragon Elliot, and together they live in the forest. 6 years later, young Natalie discovers Pete and begins to unravel the mystery of his friendship with the dragon. Gold. Ambitious Kenny Wells needs a plan to stay in the mining business after his father's death. To achieve this, he teams up with a geologist of questionable reputation on a mission to search for gold in the remote jungles of Indonesia. Jurassic World. Fallen Kingdom. 3 years after the closure of Jurassic World, a volcano threatens Isla Nublar, where dinosaurs live freely. Claire and Owen return to rescue the animals and uncover new threats and a global conspiracy. A Dog's Way Home. Bella, a loyal little dog, gets lost and is taken to a shelter far from her owner, Lucas, a veterinary student. Determined to return home, Bella embarks on an exciting journey on her own, facing many challenges along the way. Rocketman. Extremely talented but shy, pianist Reginald Dwight changes his name to Elton John and becomes an internationally renowned music star in the 1970s as he overcomes personal struggles and embraces his new identity. Jurassic World Dominion. 4 years after the destruction of Isla Nublar, dinosaurs live and hunt alongside humans worldwide. This fragile balance will determine whether humans remain the dominant species on a planet shared with these creatures. Argylle. Ellie Conway writes novels about a secret agent uncovering a global espionage syndicate. However, when her stories mirror the actions of a real-life spy organization, the line between fiction and reality blurs. Deep Cover. A tense thriller about an undercover agent forced to choose between completing his mission or surviving within dangerous underworld alliances as hidden secrets threaten to turn everything against him. Who would you like to see in the next video? Write in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you next time.